Are you stuck at the same weight no matter how hard you try? Today, let's tackle fat loss plateaus, especially for women over 40, because we know you have a whole set of unique challenges. So it's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
I hate a fat loss plateau. It does happen.
Of course
like
it
a
happens.
legitimate plateau.
Yes, 100%.
It does happen. And it's very frustrating for people. I honestly think that during those times is when people need coaches the most, because it's those times that people give up.
Yeah.
Because I am not talking about the people that are not being consistent today. I'm not talking about people that aren't doing the work. I'm talking about the people that are doing the work and they're not feeling or seeing the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, exactly. So they quit.
And it's really sad to see that.
And it's crazy because by quitting, what are you doing? The clock did not stop. Life's not stopping. Life's going forward. So if your future self could talk to that quitting self and be like, what are you doing? The clock's going forward. What are you stopping for? First off, okay, fat loss is your goal. Number two, is there a certain date that we have to lose all this fat by? Mm-hmm. I think people got it in their head like, I got to lose this by this. For what? Are you stepping on stage? Are you competing, ma'am? No.
I know.
So
all right, you guys, we're going to get into that. But first, let's discuss the fact that we need you to subscribe to us on YouTube. We need you to follow us on Instagram, Cannily_with_coffee. We need you to leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. That would really help us. Or make sure you're downloading our show. You don't only have to watch us on YouTube. You can, watch some of it on YouTube, then download it and listen to us in the car on your commute. I'm curious, does any one of you guys who watch the show also listen? Let us know and down in the comments. I'm curious.
Yeah, because I only know about YouTube, but I know we have Spotify as well.
Yeah, exactly. We're on Spotify. We're on all the platforms, actually, for anywhere that has our RSS feed. But the main ones are Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And then, of course, YouTube. YouTube is our main one as well.
Yep.
So make sure you guys do that. Make sure if you're interested in more of us, I don't know if this is not enough, we do have a weekly show called Off Topic that is for our inner circle members. So it's a pretty small group of us. We have a coffee talk in the morning every Wednesday morning. We also, they get after show on every single episode. We do a little after show with some BTS, some unfiltered commentary on the episode. So that is our inner circle that you join through YouTube. It's the channel membership. And if you head over there and join, you'll get a little coffee cup next to your name. You'll get emojis that you can use that nobody else can. And it's kind of fun. So if you're ever join us on one of our lives and you see a bunch of people with coffee cups next to their name, you're wondering who they are, that is who they are. They're our inner circle members.
Inner circle, let's go.
All right, you guys, before we get into fat loss plateaus, let's take a little quick break for One Up Nutrition. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, you know it's One Up Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders. From the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love One Up Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. All right, let's discuss fat loss plateaus. What exactly is a plateau? It's basically a period of time where weight loss efforts or fat loss efforts stall. They're not progressing. Now, I will say, in most cases, it is a perceived stall. It's not an actual fat loss stall. It may be a weight loss stall.
There you go.
But it's not a fat loss stall.
Bingo. Elaborate for them.
Because our weight is so much more than just fat, right? Our weight is bones and fluid and food and all kinds of things. But fat is fat. And so sometimes you may be losing fat, but at the same time, maybe you ate a little sodium. Maybe it's your time of the month. Maybe, you're on a certain medication that caused you to hold more water. Maybe you had more carbs than normal this week, so you're holding more water. There's so many things. Maybe your digestion's off. So there's so many things that may cause a perceived stall on the scale. And I will say in most cases, especially if you're working with a coach and they know your numbers are good, they see the data. If they tell you you're not actually stalled and you trust your coach, you need to believe them. Because what happens way too much, and this is why people fail on their journey in a lot of cases, the minute they perceive themselves to be stalled, they're like looking for the next shiny new toy.
Yes.
They're like, this program sucks. I'm going to find the next one. They're just like, oh, I'm going to try low carb. I'm going to try vegan. I'm going to try the juice diet. They want to jump ship and they want to try something drastic and they want to try something different.
Yeah.
That is where, as a coach, I can honestly tell you, I spend the majority of my time with my clients convincing them that they just need to keep going.
Keep going. They're looking for like a magic answer to fall from the skies like a shooting star. Like, nope. Keep going. Okay, you stalled. Are you getting stronger? Are you lifting more weights? Yes, coach. Okay, good. You're progressing. You're doing just fine. You're building that lean muscle tissue under the exterior of your fat. It's going to go down. You got to trust the process. We might have to make a couple little adjustments. Maybe you're not eating enough protein. Maybe cut back on the fat a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just keep going.
Yeah. Now let's talk about what a true stall is. A true fat loss stall. And I'm talking, it's a fat loss stall. Like you're still eating the same, low calories, but you used to be able to eat these calories, or at the beginning of your journey, they worked. What happens? Well, if you've lost a significant amount of weight, number one, your machine is now smaller. So what was a deficit before, maybe it no longer is. So now that number, something needs to change in the variable. Either you need to burn more calories through movement or you need to eat less calories. Ideally, probably a little bit of both just to get the needle to start moving again. You have to, sometimes that's the case. And this is for people who've been on, a big journey, not 25 pounds, not even 30 pounds. I'm talking like 50 pounds, 75 pounds, 80 pounds. Yeah, there's a time where we might have to adjust the numbers there. So that's a true stall. And that's when, we drop your calories a little bit, or maybe your energy expenditure has changed or something has changed. But truly, in a long journey, if the size of your vessel is now smaller, so is the amount of energy that you need to consume is now less. So in order to create that deficit, sometimes you do need your calories moved. But the only way in which we know that is if you're following the ones that you have right now. And if you can't follow those, I sure as hell am not going to drop them, because you can't even follow those. What makes you think you're going to follow 200 calories less?
Why do they always think that, though? They assume, like, maybe I need to drop my calories.
No,
like,
maybe you need to follow your damn calories that you already have.
Yes. And stop. And let's be honest, stop snacking in the pantry and not logging it.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys do that. You guys think you're slick. You're doing things, you're picking, licking, and what do you call it? Picking, licking.
Pick, lick, taste, PLTs.
There you go. Pick, lick, tasting. Those count. Before you know it, 200 calories a day, you do that over a 5-day period, that's 1,000 calories unaccounted for. You've overdrafted your bank account.
So don't always think that the minute that it looks stalled that you need to cut your calories. That's a big mistake that you can make, actually, because if you have a big journey to go on, right, what are you going to do? Every time you perceive a stall, you're going to cut your calories more and more and more. What are you going to be eating by the time you're at your goal weight, 800 calories or so? Do you think that that's sustainable? Because what happens, and this truly does happen, and I'm not talking to the people that are not consistent. Remember, I said that at the top of this show. I'm talking to the people that are consistent. They are hitting those numbers. They're hitting them. They hit a point where the fat's not coming off anymore. They're eating 1,000 calories, and they've been eating 1,000 calories for 6 months consistently, guess what happens? It's something called adaptive thermogenesis. It is true. Your body will power down non-essential systems. It will basically learn to function on less calories to preserve your life. Your body's trying to stay alive.
Yes.
This
Smart.
only happens if you are actually only eating a small amount of calories. The problem is, and why I want to say this, because I'm seeing the people thinking, I knew it. My metabolism's broken. It adapted.
Wrong.
It's not the case if you are eating really low calories and then on the weekend you eat high calories. Or after a month you go off the chain and eat a bunch of calories. I'm not talking to you, because if you take a look at your average calorie intake, you're actually not eating very little. You're eating quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, because let's not look at calories day over day. Let's think about your calorie expenditure as an average over the course of a month. What are you really averaging over the course of a month? That's your true kind of like calorie intake. And so if you truly are stalled and you have been consistent, sometimes it means that, yes, you need to drop your calories. Now, I will say, if you've been on a long journey and through that long journey, you have not been diligent about eating protein and lifting weights, a lot of that weight loss is going to come in the form of lean mass. When you lose lean mass, you also slow down your metabolism.
Yep.
So the answer is not always what you want to hear. The answer is not always, oh, let's keep cutting. The answer sometimes is, let's stop the train. Let's get you back into normal calorie intake, even maybe a surplus, or maybe understanding the fact that now you're going to go into a period where, yeah, you're probably going to gain a little weight back. You're going to use that energy to put on lean muscle so that the next time you go into a deficit, you set yourself up for success, and not to the point where you just think you're going to keep cutting, and then that's going to work, because it will not work.
Nope. Not at all.
That's why I am so careful with my clients, and they do not like it sometimes. I'm sure a couple of them are listening right now and thinking, sounds like me.
Gotcha.
I ask her to drop my calories and she doesn't do it. I'm not happy. I wish it were fast enough, and she doesn't do it. Why? Because, sweetheart, you have a lot of weight to lose. We have a long road. I'm preserving the road for you so that you can get to where you want to be without having to then stop the train, gain some weight back, put on muscle, fix your metabolism, because I spend a lot of time doing that with clients that come to me from coaches that did that to them. They were like the giving tree. They just took away. And they're like, they come to me, well, I only can lose weight if I eat 900
and
calories.
then you just destroyed your own metabolism. Now you have to rebuild that metabolism.
And you got to gain weight to do it.
Yes, it's the only way.
The only way. And you got to eat a lot of protein, and you got to lift heavy, and you got to go through a period of time that you're not going to like. So I try to prevent that with my clients. I don't want them to get to that point. They're never going to come away from my program thinking, well, she had me eating like nothing.
The problem is people have this thing in their head where they're still stuck on the old school diet kind of stuff. Diet. We're not doing a diet. What we're teaching you is long-term sustainability. Mm-hmm. So you can eat like this for the rest of your life. So you can enjoy yourself, because, okay, you diet, you lost a bunch of weight in 6 months. Diet is over. Now what? Now what do we do? Are you guys go back to your old ways? No,
it doesn't work.
Exactly.
No,
that's what I'm saying. That word, wherever it came about, it's got to go away, because this is not a diet. This is a long-term lifestyle plan.
And we'll be right back, because I want to talk about how do you know if you're stalled or not. We're going to get into that. Hey everyone, I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. And that's why I love MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code, JEANINE, at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code JEANINE because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. All right, welcome back. So I think that the first and foremost, the most important thing is that you determine if it's a true stall. For one, if you have a coach, let your coach tell you that because it's much easier for them. They have the expertise. But if you're not working with a coach, you're trying to figure that out, then you need to be doing a lot more than just weighing yourself, for one. And I bet you think I'm going to tell you take measurements. I'm not, because measurements can throw people off too. For one, they're very subjective. One day my waist can be 25 and a half inches. One day it can be 25. It didn't change at all, but the amount I squeezed it did. The amount, the
Right.
placement changed a little bit.
Yeah.
That my digestion was off. It doesn't mean that I gained or lost body fat on my waist in a day if my measurement's off. It throws people off. Also, I lose weight in my fingers. I lose weight on my neck, my head, my ankles. You're not weighing those things. So body fat comes off of everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I actually don't say measurements, not so much. What I do say is photos in the same outfit, set up a tripod, put that phone in the same position, the same distance away from you, the same height. Try to eliminate as many variables as you can, the same time of day, the same lighting. All of those things can trick the system, okay?
Big time.
They can make you look leaner, fatter, whatever. I pay attention to those things when I'm looking at my clients' pictures. I don't try not to let that skew me because the outfits are different sometimes, the lighting. I pay attention to those things. But for you, if you're doing it yourself, make it as easy on yourself as possible. But pictures from the same position, front, side, back, doing the same thing, whether you're flexing, arms down, whatever, wearing the same outfit, and look to see if you see changes. If you see changes, like if you have a fat roll, like we all kind of do, right underneath that sports bra, you see a line, the fat kind of buckles right there.
Yeah.
Look to see the length of that line. Did that change? Is it shorter now? And the weight, maybe the scale says the same thing or it went up, but you see that change, or the depth of the crease in your back at your spine. Maybe some days, maybe a couple weeks ago, it was more flat. Now it's more indented. That, my friends, is an indication that you're losing body fat.
Yep.
So I don't care what the scale says, you're not stalled. If you see change in your body fat, it does not matter what the scale says. You are not stalled. The scale is reflecting something else, and it's not the fact that you're stalled. So do not abort mission. Do not look for the shiny new toy. If you're showing results, just keep going. I know that's annoying sometimes, but just keep going. The scale will move eventually. I promise you that.
Yes. Consistency wins over everything.
Now, also, do not try to do this from pictures from last week. You don't have a freaking microscope. You're not going to be able to see a change in a week. Always go back to week 1, 4 weeks. A look back period should always be 4 weeks. If you don't have 4 weeks yet, then I don't want to talk to you anyways because you haven't been doing it long enough to even be stalled.
Right.
So your look back period is 4 weeks. Then if you feel like you don't see change and the scale is not cooperating, are you stalled? I don't know. Then you're going to look at what you've done over the past 4 weeks. Have you truly been consistent? Yeah. Have you really been doing the work? Have you been hitting your macros? Have you been getting your steps in? Because if you haven't, you're not stalled. You're just not consistent. Again, not stalled. To be honest, 99%. I think I said, I don't know. I said a statistic that was wrong because now that I'm talking, it's like 90+% of you that think you're stalled are not stalled. You're either not consistent or you're not seeing the progress. So it's one or the other.
Yeah. And you're not logging all your calories. Like I said earlier, you're picking, licking, and
the PLTs.
Tasting. And those add up.
All right, you guys, let's take a little break for, I think it's Transcend. We'll be right back. Hey, everyone. I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I. HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. So what are some other things you can do besides photos, besides clothing? Helps. I think I've talked about it before, but like a certain pair of jeans, you know where you gain and lose weight first. Everyone kind of has a certain pattern in which they lose. So if like it's the abdomen for you or your waistline, put on a really pair of tight jeans and take your picture with those jeans on and see how they'll start to fit better over time.
Yeah.
I love the clothing one. Clothing is a good one.
The clothes do not lie. No. All of a sudden, the jeans didn't get looser overnight or by accident. Mm-hmm. Happens to me. I put these on. I'm like, dang, these are so loose. Like my waist must have been a lot bigger when I bought these jeans.
Mm-hmm. I always love that. Like there are certain jeans. I mean, we've talked about it, but they keep me honest. They're like those no stretch.
Right.
They keep me so honest.
You'll know if your waist is if you've been doing good or bad.
Yeah, because the Lululemons lie. They lie really bad. They lie.
Those right there are women's detriment. All that Lululemon, any of those stretchy kind of workout pants.
Because they make you feel good because they always fit.
Always, they're made to fit. That's why they stretch with the rest of your body.
They smooth out your cellulite. They make you feel real good.
I wonder about that. I can sometimes see cellulite on the back of women's legs.
Now, I will say that your eyes play tricks on you, by the way, for yourself. You are your own worst enemy. You're going to feel like you don't see a change. I hear that a lot too. I'll think, clients will say like, oh, the scale's not really moving. And honestly, I don't see a difference in my photos. But if I do, luckily my clients, they trust me. And so they're like, okay, you know what? I trust you. I know you wouldn't steer me wrong. Listen, I want you to have results. I'm not going to lie. If I think that you're not having results, I'm going to be like in there with a fine tooth comb going, all right, are you really tracking correctly? Like I'll start asking 100 questions and start digging into the food logs. And are you sure there's no PLTs in there? And let's buckle it down, because what'll happen is if you're kind of wishy-washy, like, I don't know, sometimes I guess, whatever. I'm like, listen, this is what we need to do. For 2 weeks, we need to buckle down. I don't want you to eat out. And I want you to truly, truly measure and track everything you eat for 2 weeks. Oftentimes we don't even need 2 weeks. After 1 week, it becomes very clear.
Yeah.
Because that week that they're able to buckle down, boom, they'll lose like more weight than they've ever lost in a week. And I'm like,
see?
Aha. I said, so you know what that tells me? That tells me if you were honest with yourself and me, mostly yourself, we could actually raise your macros. We could actually raise it, because I don't want you losing 4 pounds in a week. What this tells me is that...
No, that's too much.
Right. But what this tells me is that these are too low for you. But the reason why you haven't had success on these calories that are too low is because you're not sticking with them. And you're probably not sticking with them because they are too low. Because when they're too low, and when you're in a 30, 40% deficit, yielding a 4-pound weight loss, that's going to be impossible to stay consistent on. So we actually need to bump it up. This is something that happens quite frequently with my clients, that they think like their calories aren't working. And so instead of bringing them down, I actually bump them up and they end up with weight loss. It's because they're easier to stick to. They're not so hungry. It cuts down on the PLTs. It cuts down on the weekend indulgences.
Yes.
And it leads to weight loss.
So true.
So it's pretty crazy.
POTs and snacking and all that stuff mindlessly, it adds up quick.
Oh, the worst. It does.
I'm guessing what they say average American eats over 1,000 calories of his guesstimated caloric intake.
Over what they think.
Over what they think.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that. I think 500 of that is from aimless snacking.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Like a friend of mine said earlier, he goes, I can't just eat a few almonds. It was like 10 almonds. I forgot how much calories he was telling me. What is like 10 almonds?
10 almonds is about 150 calories.
He's like, dude, I'll tear through 50 almonds like no problem. I said, yeah, see how many calories that is?
That's almost 1,000 calories.
And then you think, oh my God, but I ate
750.
almonds. That's so healthy. No, man.
And you won't even feel.
You won't even feel that full off, you would think.
You won't.
Like eat a whole avocado, you'll feel a lot more fuller and less calories than 50 almonds.
And it sucks because almonds are so good.
They are good. I love them, but I just stay clear of them because they're so high in calories.
Because it's not going to satisfy me. It's not enough. It's not enough. I like almond butter. I'd rather have like almond butter or like a nut butter.
Yeah, of course. Like a peanut butter, almond butter, for sure.
Now I'm hungry.
You're right.
Now I'm hungry. But
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've seen it all. I've experienced it all in my time as a coach. And in my experience, it's usually not a stall. It really just is not a true stall. It's very rare for macros to not work.
Very rare.
It's very rare. And it's very rare for them to need to be adjusted frequently.
And you know what? I don't know if the ladies aren't this way. I'm pretty sure they're not because they care about that scale movement. But the dudes, they'll have great success and they'll get to a certain weight. But I'm just not. I don't want to cut anymore. I don't want to lose any muscle. Homie, you still got body fat on you. Mm-hmm. Well, who told you you're losing muscle? Mm-hmm. You still got to shed more body fat. We're not done yet. So why are you worried about the number on the scale? Mm-hmm. You need to validate the number on the scale to feel like a man or something?
I mean, just like women, they obsess on, they want the lowest possible number.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. These dudes they're just like, just keep shedding body fat. Who cares about the number on the scale? You still have body fat on you. Mm-hmm. Got to go, man. You know? You're just tapping lightweight. You're giving yourself an out. That's the excuse. Yeah. That's what you're really telling me.
And it's all good if you can hold on to where you're at and kind of like stay. The problem is they'll start creeping back up because you start doing your old habits creep in.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Everybody we've seen it has a lot of success. So, right, guys, but the holding on to it, like staying there and not letting it creep back up, that's a different story.
Yeah. But if you think that so, you know, another thing you can look at, so really take a look at like your food logs and think about your weekends. If you think that you're stalled, you're not seeing the progress in the pictures, you're not seeing, you think you've been doing pretty on point, you need to really be honest with yourself or else you're going to spin your wheels.
Yeah.
You need to really be honest with yourself because also, remember, just because that's what you tracked doesn't mean that's what you ate.
That's so true.
You're not tricking anybody, okay?
Nope.
So like if you serve yourself 39 grams of almond butter, but you tracked 32, you ate 39, okay? And that's what's reflecting in your results. So when you're not, like I know your degree of accuracy as a coach because I know what I have your deficit set at. I can see how much activity you did. I have all that information. So I know when I look at the results for the week, I'm like, okay. Probably ate a little more at that restaurant than they let on.
Yes.
Probably didn't, probably served themselves a little more of that cheesecake than they let on.
Yep. Had more bread than they let on.
Because like you like to say, one of your favorite sayings, the math ain't mathin'.
The math ain't mathin'. They think they're slick. Or one way we could tell you guys, and don't be slick, is you won't finish filling out your tracking.
Oh, yeah.
That right there is a big indicator.
Like you didn't go to bed hungry with 700 calories on the table.
And the scale went up that week. And you do that several times. Oh, we know you are fibbing. So don't do it. We know.
Yeah.
We know the tricks.
Yeah. If you have a couple days in there where you only logged 700 calories and then the scale didn't move and then I ask about it and you're saying, well, I wasn't really hungry. I didn't really eat. Well, you did at some point because the scale didn't move.
Or if it goes up. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there's a thing called the law of thermodynamics.
Now, like I said, it's not always about the scale because the scale can go up for other reasons, but I can usually figure it out if I look at your logs. Like, okay, fiber was way too high or whatever. But like I don't know. We have it all. We have it all down though.
Where it counts.
You know what's another thing? I'll tell you. We're giving up all our secrets. We probably shouldn't say this because our clients are gonna be like, "Damn, that's what they know."
I know.
Listen, we don't. If you drink alcohol, it is what it is. We don't require our clients not drink alcohol. However, we like to know if you're drinking because it does impact the way your results are. To be honest, it's going to impact your results. It's going to impact, obviously, your calorie intake and all of that. We don't need to see the logs to see if you're drinking. It's very, very clear when we look at your heart rate on a Friday night or a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And your resting heart rate spikes. If your resting heart rate spikes, that cortisol is either you were in some fight or flight stressful situation or you partook in some alcoholic beverages for the evening.
Or maybe took some shrooms or something.
Or took something. We can know. See that. It's so funny. The data does not lie.
Because I've already discovered it.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. So you can reassess your nutrition. What I also like to say, if you think you're stalled, don't automatically right away want to adjust your macros. Do you have room in which to increase movement?
There you go.
You know, why not increase movement? Why not say like, oh, okay, she's not going to lower my macros, but it doesn't stop me. I can increase my average daily steps. Right now, I'm only 7,500. I can do 10,000. That's going to be that's something good you can do.
And you don't need to be, depending on what part of the country you live. We're in California. Obviously, it's been no rain. So you're like, I don't feel like walking on the treadmill. It's boring. Okay, well, put on a show like this one, a podcast or call some old friends, get on a phone call, and go walk outside for 30 minutes. I do it every day for an hour. I'll put on a podcast or make some phone calls, and it goes like that. Get my extra steps in. Mm-hmm. I do it at night if necessary, you know. I get those extra steps in.
Another thing is, take a look at some of the other lifestyle factors. Like, how is your sleep? Is your sleep good?
That's very important. That's
very important.
That is one of the most, if not the most important right there, is sleep. Because without sleep, what are you going to do? You're going to be tired the next day, low energy. Your cortisol is going to be raised to the roof. You're going to be extra hungry. I know when I don't sleep good, I'm extra hungry. I pay attention like, damn, I'm so hungry. I'm craving everything under the sun. Mm-hmm. That's an indicator right there. Mood, am I in the mood? I'm definitely not in the mood to go work out, depending on how much sleep I got. If I get anything under like 6 hours, ooh, that's tough. I can manage under 7, but under 6, no good.
Oh, yeah. I feel my absolute best when I have 7.
7
I
plus.
feel a little off at 6.
Yes.
Less than 6, and I'm gonna have a really jacked up
You just
day.
did it recently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My body will claim it back.
Yep.
It's Friday night, so I went to bed at like 2. I was up at 6:20. That wasn't enough for me.
No.
And then I had a long, busy day.
Especially if you're in a program where you're doing a lot of resistance training and lifting weights, your body needs rest, needs to recover.
You know, and the other thing is if you think you're stalled, you are on your macros, your movement hasn't changed, and you feel like there's just something wrong, get your hormones checked. We just talked about it on the last episode.
Yes.
Get your hormones checked. Maybe you have a thyroid situation going on. Maybe your metabolism is not optimized right now. Nope. Maybe you need to get on some medication to optimize your metabolism. Maybe there's something else going on, but you need to figure that out. You need to if you truly think you're doing everything right, lifestyle factors are accounted for, your macros are accounted for, then it's time to dig a little deeper into your medical stuff.
So true.
Get a full comprehensive blood panel through Transcend. That's how I discovered I had hypothyroid, by the way.
I know. You didn't know. Mm-mm. You had no clue. And it all made sense.
Yeah.
And then when you fix that, you totally change everything.
Yeah, so just to give you guys some perspective. So on the last episode, I talked about how I was able to lose my menopause weight before starting HRT, but my deficit calories were 1,200. And the weight loss was very slow. So it took me 6 months to lose, I think it was like 13 pounds.
Damn.
That's not a lot.
No, most would have quit.
Okay. So, and I was 100% on it. Immediately when I started taking my pills, I was so excited. My thyroid pills, I immediately bumped up my calories. I can't imagine only eating 1,200 calories a day.
No.
So my new deficit calories became like 1,550.
See?
350 calories a day?
And you're cruising. You're not even
That's a lot.
you're not even dying. You never complain about being hungry.
No, that's my deficit. My in maintenance is like, depends how active I am. It's kind of like 1900
Okay.
is maintenance.
Not bad, not bad.
So for the most part, I eat around, 1,600 calories a day. And then there's a couple days that I eat a little more. Like on Saturday, we have that treat. I usually go up to like 1,900.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balances out though.
Yeah, but I don't have, once or twice a week, I have a higher day just because I just eat something I want to eat.
Yes.
But I don't, it's not
Same
some
here.
sort of, it is
We
what
still
it
don't
is.
get crazy like we used to.
No.
Not even close.
No, it's a totally different mindset. And so it's
Yeah.
that's why I don't even trip, but I love, that's why it's like before, if I didn't get the treat, if something happened and we didn't have our special treat on Saturday night, there's no way I would have it on Sunday night. I'd be like, I can't have it on Sunday. I'll have to wait till next Saturday. But
Yeah.
like this week I had it Sunday.
Yep. So
Change
true.
the day. So it's totally okay to do. All right, you guys. Well, hopefully that gives you guys some information on plateaus. Hopefully you learned something today and realize you're probably not in one. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.